A secret chamber was recently discovered in Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza. It's 100.
Scientists say that they have found a mysterious chamber hidden deep inside Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza.
Archaeologists in Egypt have just uncovered a sealed door hidden deep inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, and what lies beyond is truly shocking. A secret passageway, untouched for thousands of years, has led to mysterious intact coffins.
Hello and welcome back here inside the Queen's chamber. Now we are glued to these live pictures that our robot rover is sending back to us. We can see those here. This is what's happening right now. But we saw something really interesting a minute ago, didn't we, Zahi?
Could this be a gateway to the underworld? With an ancient sarcophagus waiting to be opened, the secrets of Egypt's past are about to be revealed. Ancient Egyptian tomb reveals false door, believed to be a gateway to the underworld. What's hidden inside? Let's find out. Ancient Egypt had some wild beliefs, and one of the biggest was about life after death.
False door is very important. It was where the Ba could move between the realm. It's the gate to freedom.
They thought when someone died, their spirit had to pass through a place called the Duat, kind of like an in-between world, before reaching Osiris, the ruler of the afterlife. This is why Egyptians built fancy tombs and mummified bodies. They wanted to protect their souls and make sure they had everything needed for the journey. A great example is King Tutankhamun. His tomb had over 5,000 treasures, even the tiny mummies of his daughters. People believed these things would help him fight off bad spirits and safely reach the afterlife. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Earlier this year, a team of archaeologists led by Ahmed Zikri made an incredible discovery: a rare tomb from Egypt's Old Kingdom, around 2649 to 2130 BC. Inside, they found something truly special: a false door. This wasn't just any decoration. The Egyptians believed it was a magical doorway that allowed the soul, called Ba, to move between this world and the next. A false door was like a spiritual portal. They were always placed in an important spot inside tombs and decorated with detailed carvings. One of the researchers who found it was amazed. The paintings around the door looked so fresh. It was like the artist had just finished them.
Body in this time want to be near the king. When he wrote in the tomb that the king know me, for him it's like passport to get easily in the second life without any problems.
Egyptologist Aliyah Ismail explained why false doors were such a big deal. They were covered with a person's name, job, and even their picture. The idea was that if the spirit needed to move back and forth, all their important details would be there. Mr. Zikri and his team identified the tomb's owner. His name was Pinimos. He was painted with his wife and kids, including a touching image of his daughter holding onto her mother's clothes. His title, Royal Acquaintance, showed he was close to the king, possibly an advisor or high-ranking official. In those days, being close to the pharaoh was a huge deal. People believed if the king knew you, it would be easier to enter the afterlife. Even pharaohs packed their tombs with treasures to help on their journey, just like King Tut did. The ancient Egyptians truly left no detail out when it came to preparing for life after death. Do you find this discovery fascinating or mysterious? Comment us, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Upuat Project, 1993, is the robotic exploration of the Great Pyramid's air shafts that led to the discovery of a sealed block with metal loops, suggesting hidden chambers. The Great Pyramid of Giza is full of secrets, and one of the most mysterious discoveries inside it was made during the Upuat Project in the early 1990s. Archaeologists wanted to explore the small tunnels, or air shafts, inside the pyramid. To do this, engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a tiny robot, Upuat 2, into the tunnels to see what was inside. What they found left everyone with more questions than answers. As the robot moved through the southern shaft of the Queen's chamber, It hit a sealed stone block with 2 metal loops attached. This wasn't an ordinary stone. It looked like a small door, now called Gantenbrink's door. But why was it there? What was behind it? No one knew. A few days later, they tried to send the robot into the northern shaft, but the passage had sharp turns, and there was a risk the robot would get stuck, so they had to stop. The discovery of these blocked shafts made archaeologists rethink their theories about the pyramid. Some experts believed that the Queen's Chamber was supposed to be the original burial place, but was later abandoned for the King's Chamber higher up in the pyramid. Others thought the Queen's Chamber had an important religious purpose, possibly linked to the stars. Years later, in 2002, a National Geographic team drilled a tiny hole in Gantenbrink's door to see what was behind it. To their surprise, there was another stone slab blocking the way again. The northern shaft was also explored, but it too was blocked by a stone. Then, in 2011, a new project called Jetty used a special snake-like camera that could bend around corners. When they looked inside the hidden chamber behind the first stone door, they found something unexpected: red markings and symbols. A researcher named Luca Miatello believed the symbols represented the number 121, which might be the length of the shaft in ancient Egyptian measurements. The team also studied the copper loops on the stone door. At first, people thought they were handles, but now experts believe they were just for decoration. Another surprise was that the back of the door was smooth and polished, which meant it wasn't just a random stone blocking the way. It had a purpose. Even today, no one knows for sure what's behind these blocked passages or what their real purpose was. Could there be more secret chambers? The mystery continues. Scan Pyramid's Big Void 2017 is a project in which, by using muon tomography, researchers detected a massive void above the Grand Gallery in the Great Pyramid of Giza, indicating a previously unknown space. The Great Pyramid of Giza has always been a mystery, but in 2017, scientists made an amazing discovery inside it. They found a huge hidden space using a special technology called muon scanning. This method works like an X-ray, but uses tiny particles from space called muons to see inside solid structures. Scientists placed special detectors inside the pyramid and outside its walls to track these particles. The results showed something incredible: a large, empty space hidden above the Grand Gallery. This hidden area, named Scan Pyramid's Big Void, is at least 30 meters long, 98 feet, and has a shape similar to the Grand Gallery. It was first detected by a team from Nagoya University in Japan, who used special nuclear emulsion films inside the Queen's Chamber. Then, another team from KEK, High Energy Accelerator Research Organization, confirmed it using a different scanning method. Finally, a French team from the CEA, Alternative Energies and Atomic Energy Commission, used gas detectors outside the pyramid to check from another angle. All three teams found the same thing: something big is hidden inside the pyramid. That wasn't the only discovery. Another smaller hidden corridor was found near the north face of the pyramid, between 17 and 23 meters, 56 to 75 feet, above the ground. This space, called Scan Pyramid's North Face Corridor, could be horizontal or sloped, but its exact purpose is still unknown. These discoveries are the biggest finds inside the pyramid since the 1800s. But what is the purpose of these empty spaces? Could they be hidden chambers, structural features, or something else? No one knows yet. Scientists are now working on getting more scans from different angles to better understand the Big Void's shape and function. What makes this even more exciting is that it was all done without digging or damaging the pyramid. Instead of breaking into the structure, scientists used modern technology to uncover its secrets. This is just the beginning. There could still be more hidden spaces waiting to be found inside the Great Pyramid. As researchers continue their work, we may get even more answers about one of the world's most mysterious monuments. Archaeologists astonished after unsealing a 4,000-year-old Egyptian pyramid for the first time. Archaeologists in Egypt have made a discovery that has left them completely shocked. They uncovered a hidden pyramid in Dashur, an ancient burial site near Cairo, and opened it for the first time in 4,000 years. But what they found inside was not what they expected. Instead of untouched treasures, they found a huge mystery, one that has raised more questions than answers. Dashur is home to some of Egypt's oldest pyramids, including the Bent Pyramid and the Red Pyramid, built by Pharaoh Sneferu. But during some quarry work in the area, workers stumbled upon limestone blocks buried in the sand. Right away, experts from Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities knew this was something important. A team of archaeologists began digging and soon uncovered a passageway leading underground. As they worked their way inside, they realized this pyramid had been sealed for thousands of years, something incredibly rare. Most Egyptian tombs have been looted, but this one was still closed. The team hoped to find a perfectly preserved burial chamber inside. After weeks of careful excavation, archaeologists reached the sealed burial chamber. They carefully lifted the heavy stone cap covering the entrance, expecting to see a royal tomb filled with treasures. But what they saw left them stunned. The chamber was a complete mess. Even though the pyramid had been sealed, the burial site had been ransacked. But how? If the entrance was never opened, who stole the treasures inside? This discovery didn't make sense. Dr. Chris Naunton, a British Egyptologist leading the investigation, called it an ancient crime scene. The evidence suggested that the robbery happened before the pyramid was even sealed. But why would someone seal an already looted tomb? Dr. Naunton believes the thieves may have been the same people who sealed it, possibly covering up a secret crime. This happened during Egypt's 13th dynasty, a time of power struggles and betrayal. Inside the burial chamber, archaeologists found a canopic chest with damaged hieroglyphs. When they scanned it, they discovered the name of an unknown royal, Princess Hatshepsut. This was not the famous Pharaoh Hatshepsut from later Egyptian history. This Princess Hatshepsut was completely forgotten, yet she had her own pyramid, meaning she must have been very important. This discovery has changed what we know about ancient Egypt. Who was Princess Hatshepsut? Why was her tomb sealed after being looted? Was this part of a royal betrayal? Archaeologists are still studying the site, hoping to uncover more clues. But one thing is clear: Egypt's pyramids still hold secrets, even after 4,000 years. Discovery of KV5, 1995. Kent Weeks rediscovered tomb KV5 in the Valley of the Kings, the largest known tomb in the area, believed to be the burial site for the sons of Ramses II. The Valley of the Kings is full of secrets, but one of the biggest surprises came in 1995 when archaeologists found out just how huge tomb KV5 really was. This tomb, built for the sons of Pharaoh Ramesses II, turned out to be the largest tomb in the entire valley. Even though people had known about it for a long time, no one realized how massive it was until Kent R. Weeks and his team started digging. KV5 was first discovered in 1825 and later examined in 1902, but early explorers didn't get far. Over the years, floods filled the tomb with rubble, making it impossible to explore properly. Howard Carter, the man who found King Tut's tomb, even used KV5 as a dumping site. It wasn't until Kent Weeks' team began working in the 1980s that the tomb's true size was revealed. Their main goal was to map the area, but what they uncovered shocked the world. By 1995, they had found at least 70 rooms, and that was just the beginning. As excavation continued, more corridors and chambers appeared. By 2006, at least 130 rooms had been discovered, and the work was far from over. The tomb was so big that archaeologists were only able to clear a small part of it. This tomb was not just for one prince. It was the resting place of many sons of Ramesses II. Some of them died young, and their skull fragments were even found inside the tomb. It was also filled with objects, many of them broken because of ancient floods. Among the many discoveries were pottery pieces, beads, glass vials, and statues. Archaeologists also found canopic jars, which held the preserved organs of the dead. These jars had the names of 4 princes, Amun-Herkhepeshef, Ramesses, Sethi, and Meri-Atum. In one chamber, archaeologists uncovered human bones. Scientists believe at least 2 of them were related to Ramesses II, and another was likely a relative. KV-5 also held small statues called shabtis, which were meant to serve the dead in the afterlife. Some of these had names written in ink. Finely carved chariot parts were also found, showing that these princes might have been warriors. Another interesting find was an ancient receipt, a piece of limestone with writing that recorded the delivery of candle wicks to light the tomb during its construction. Thanks to the work of the Theban Mapping Project, KV-5 is now known as the biggest tomb in the Valley of the Kings. It still holds many secrets, and archaeologists continue to explore it. Even after 4,000 years, this tomb is helping us learn more about ancient Egypt, the sons of Ramesses II, and the lives they lived. Jedi Project 2011 is a robotic mission that explored the southern shaft of the Queen's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, uncovering red markings and metal handles behind a limestone door. The Great Pyramid of Giza has been standing for over 4,500 years, but there are still many mysteries hidden inside. One of the biggest puzzles is the tiny shafts leading from the Queen's Chamber. No one knows their true purpose. To find answers, a team of experts from around the world launched the Jedi Project, named after an ancient magician who was said to have helped Pharaoh Khufu design his pyramid. This project was led by scientists from the University of Leeds and supported by Dassault Systems in France. Their goal was to send a robot into the narrow shafts to see what's inside and figure out why they were built. The robot was specially designed with a tiny camera that could squeeze through tight spaces and even look around corners. It also had sensors to measure the thickness of walls and a small drill to carefully remove material if needed. When the robot entered the shaft, it traveled 213 feet through a space just 8 inches wide. It eventually reached a limestone door, blocking the path. But thanks to its flexible camera, the robot was able to peek through a hole and take photos of what was behind it. What it found was unexpected. There were 2 copper pins with curved heads and red markings painted on the stone. Experts believe these markings could be hieroglyphic numbers, but their meaning is still a mystery. The discovery raised more questions than answers. What were the copper pins used for? Why were the markings hidden inside the shaft? And why did the pyramid builders seal off these narrow passages? Scientists are still searching for explanations, and the pyramid continues to hold on to its secrets. Meanwhile, a similar robotic exploration was happening in Mexico, at the ancient Maya city of Palenque. Archaeologists had found a tomb beneath Temple 20 in 1999, but the structure was too unstable to dig inside. Instead, they lowered a tiny camera through a 6-inch wide hole, and what they saw was incredible. Inside the tomb, they found jade and shell artifacts and red and black wall paintings showing at least 9 figures. These clues suggest that the tomb belonged to an early Maya ruler and dates back about 1,500 years. Both projects show how modern technology is helping archaeologists explore places humans can't reach. As robots keep revealing new discoveries, we are slowly uncovering the hidden stories of ancient civilizations. Discovery of 59 sealed sarcophagi in Saqqara, 2020. Archaeologists unearthed 59 sealed wooden coffins with mummies dating back over 2,600 years in the Saqqara necropolis. Egypt has always been full of surprises, and once again, archaeologists have made an amazing discovery. In Saqqara, just outside Cairo, they found 59 sealed coffins buried for more than 2,600 years. Inside, most of them held perfectly preserved mummies. This discovery is one of the biggest in decades, and experts believe even more are waiting to be uncovered. The coffins were found in 3 burial shafts near the famous step pyramid of Djoser. This area has been an ancient burial ground for centuries, with at least 11 pyramids and hundreds of tombs belonging to priests, officials, and nobles. According to archaeologists, these beautifully decorated coffins belong to high-ranking priests and officials from Egypt's late period, 664 to 525 BC. But that's not all they found. Alongside the coffins, experts uncovered 28 statues of Ptah Soker, the main god of Saqqara's necropolis. There was also a 35-centimeter tall bronze statue of the god Nefertum, beautifully decorated with precious stones. The name of its owner, priest Badi Amun, was carved at the bottom. This incredible find is part of a larger search in Saqqara. Just a month earlier, archaeologists had found 13 wooden coffins in an 11-meter-deep burial shaft. But as they kept digging, they realized that many more were hidden beneath the sand. This shows that Saqqara still has many secrets waiting to be discovered. The site has also revealed a huge animal cemetery, where experts found mummified cats, crocodiles, snakes, lions, scarab beetles, and birds. In 2018, archaeologists uncovered the tomb of Wati, a high-ranking priest from the Old Kingdom's 5th dynasty, about 4,400 years ago. His tomb had beautiful wall carvings of himself, his wife, and his mother. These discoveries are bringing Egypt's history back to life. The Saqqara coffins will soon be displayed at the Grand Egyptian Museum, alongside other great finds from Luxor. With every dig, archaeologists are uncovering more treasures, and who knows what they'll find next. Discovery of the Tomb of Wati, 2018. A 4,400-year-old tomb belonging to a high priest named Wati was discovered in Saqqara, containing colorful hieroglyphs and statues. Archaeologists in Egypt have made an amazing discovery: a 4,400-year-old tomb belonging to a high-ranking priest named Wati. His colorful and beautifully decorated resting place was found 16 feet under the sand at Saqqara, an ancient burial site near Cairo. Experts say this is one of the most exciting finds in decades because the paint and carvings are still in great condition, even after thousands of years. Wati lived during Egypt's Old Kingdom, serving King Neferirkare as a royal purification priest, royal supervisor, and inspector of the sacred boat. His tomb is large and full of art, showing scenes of hunting, sailing, making offerings, and daily life. The walls are covered with colorful paintings, and the tomb itself is filled with statues of Wati, his wife Weret Ptah, his mother Meret Min, and other figures. Experts say these statues are unique, especially the 26 small ones near the floor, showing a person either standing or sitting cross-legged like a scribe. The tomb is shaped like a rectangular hall, about 33 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 10 feet high. At the back, archaeologists found 5 shafts leading further down. One was already open and empty, but the other 4 remained sealed. These could still hold treasures, artifacts, or even Wati's sarcophagus, making future excavations even more exciting. The hieroglyphs in the tomb mention Wati's mother and wife. His mother, Meret Min, had a name that meant lover of the god Min, a fertility god. His wife, Nin Winnet Ptah, had a name meaning the greatest of the god Ptah, an important creator god. These details help experts better understand Wati's life and his role in ancient Egypt. One of the most exciting things about this discovery is how well preserved everything is. The colors in the paintings are still bright, showing Egyptians cooking, drinking, and building. The tomb also has 2 levels filled with statues, some life-sized and others smaller than 3 feet tall. Most statues represent humans or gods, adding even more mystery to the site. With the sealed shafts yet to be explored, archaeologists believe this tomb could reveal even more secrets. The discovery of Wati's tomb adds another piece to the puzzle of Egypt's ancient history, and there's still more to uncover. Discovery of Pharaoh Thutmose II's tomb, 2025. British archaeologist Piers Litherland uncovered the 3,500-year-old rock-cut tomb of Pharaoh Thutmose II near Egypt's Valley of the Kings. For over 100 years, no one had discovered a new tomb of an Egyptian pharaoh until now. British archaeologist Piers Litherland made an incredible find in Egypt while exploring the western wadis near the Valley of the Kings. After years of searching, he and his team uncovered a hidden staircase leading to an ancient tomb. At first, they thought it belonged to a royal wife, but they were in for a big surprise. As they cleared away tons of flood debris, they reached the burial chamber. When Litherland stepped inside, he saw something breathtaking. A ceiling painted blue with yellow stars, a design only used for pharaohs. The walls were covered with religious texts meant only for kings. That's when he knew this was the tomb of a missing pharaoh, Thutmose II, who ruled from 1493 to 1479 BC. Overwhelmed by the discovery, Litherland stepped outside to tell his wife. But he was so emotional that all he could do was burst into tears. The tomb was empty, but not because of tomb robbers. Instead, it had been deliberately cleared out. The team realized the tomb had been built under a waterfall, and within 6 years of the burial, it had flooded. The king's remains were then moved to another location. While digging through the broken limestone, the team discovered small pieces of alabaster with the name Thutmose II on them. These were likely broken when the mummy and burial objects were moved. Without these tiny fragments, no one would have ever known whose tomb this was. This discovery solves a big mystery in Egyptian history. Until now, experts believe that early 18th dynasty pharaohs were buried near the Valley of the Kings. But Thutmose II's hidden tomb was in a completely different location. This raises an exciting possibility. If this tomb was emptied and the king's remains were moved, could his second tomb still be out there? If found, it could be perfectly intact, making it one of the biggest discoveries in history. This breakthrough is part of a joint project by the New Kingdom Research Foundation and the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities in partnership with the University of Cambridge. With each new find, archaeologists are uncovering more secrets of ancient Egypt, and this could be just the beginning. Discovery of 30 sealed coffins in Luxor, 2019. Archaeologists in Luxor, Egypt, have found something truly incredible. 30 wooden coffins buried for 3,000 years in ancient Egypt, proving that the Great Pyramid and its hidden passageways still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered.